Welcome to the OpenJ9 community call for May 4th. If you haven't already, please add your name and company affiliation to the meeting minutes. We'll just dive into it. Looking for volunteers for more lightning talks. If anybody has any ideas, please let us know, or you can update the minutes with suggestions. Take a look at the latest end user issues. So there's nothing added in the last week. Let's keep moving on. Take a look at the download trends. Pretty much the same as last week. Some upticks, which I assume are as a result of the release that we did a couple weeks ago. Seems fine. 026 is done. I think I'll just remove that. There is a note here about a 026 release retrospective. I'm not sure who added that. Maybe Dan. Does anyone have any comments about what went well or what didn't go so well, or what actions we should take to improve things? Otherwise, we can leave that for next week and see if anyone has anything next week. I know some people aren't able to attend today. Okay, so we talked about running extended OpenJDK testing at OpenJ9. I did run a grinder to try to run those tests, but I think we were having infra issues that day, and a lot of the builds fell over. So really, I should try it again when we're having better luck with the network um, and the Jenkins isn't so busy. I think it was particularly busy that day. Lots of people running PR builds. So I'll try and find another chance to run those tests again and see if I can get better results. Marius, I see you're on the call, and I know you had an update about the performance issue for Java 8.
Yeah, it's about the mixed refs performance. Um, so I did some tests, first of all, on my home setup, and I did not observe any throughput difference between the mixed refs and the compressed refs builds. And then I moved to the machines that are used by the PMA group. And again, I was using my own scripts because I'm very familiar with them, but I couldn't reproduce the issue using the same builds that Sharon used. And now I'm actually running with the PMA infrastructure to see if I can reproduce that cell regression, because it may have been, just fluctuation. The report regression was small, and I see the confidence interval being as big as the regression. So at this point, I would say that there might be no regression whatsoever. We'll have to see.
That's good news. Let's hope that's the case. Okay, so we published the dates for the 027 release, coming up on the code split for June 6th, next month, about a month from now. I think that takes us to adopt, but I don't think we have anybody on the call today to give us adopt updates. Does anybody have any news? Not, we'll move on. Is there anything for machines? It looks like no update this week.
Nope. Your usage went down 2% on Artifactory.
Okay. Sounds like we should consider upping by another 5 the days we keep things.
Well, we got to keep
Logs
in
and
mind
builds.
that we're going to add a version come September or whenever. So
Yeah, it's a long time from now. Until then, we might as well keep more history. Could always change it to go back down in September.
Okay.
I don't actually, it won't be September. It'll be, I don't know the actual date. It'll be a couple of months before September when the code split happens. But we can figure that out.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know that it's urgent to increase the number of days we're keeping stuff. Nobody's complaining at the moment, so. But it wouldn't hurt. Okay, any other business? Do we have Babneet? Oh, I think Babneet's not around today. Devin, do you have any updates on CMake?
I'm just working through some last test failures I'm seeing on ZOS. It looks like, well, there's a few test failures, but it's basically grouped into two categories. One, it looks like we're not generating the trace output properly, which it breaks a lot of the tests, but I suspect that's not something too bad. And then the other one is that it's running slow, so I'm hitting a lot of timeouts, and I think that's just something with the optimization flags, because we have to do a little bit of a song and dance to get a debug info and optimizations working properly.
Okay. I know there's a lot of PRs that got merged, or quite a few anyways. Are there more?
I believe there's OMR one, which I'm just working on now. There's it works for J9 side, but they build slightly differently at OMR, so the patch doesn't quite work there yet. And then there's another OMR one that's dependent on that first one.
So there's nothing left at OpenJ9? It seems to me there's one I had some review comments on, and I'm not sure they got resolved.
Yeah, there might actually be one or two small little things left there that should get cleaned up in the next couple of days.
Do you have more to open, or is that the full set?
I believe that's the full set, but I'll have to look again at my branch and rebase that off. Still left to merge in.
Okay. I did see a comment about a Helm chart, Marius. I guess
Yeah,
that's still in progress.
so since release 0.26 has appeared in Docker Hub, Chris has created a PR for a new Helm chart version related to release 0.26. I reviewed that PR, and one of the license messages has changed, and I'm asking Chris why that is. But other than that, the PR looks good, and if he answers the question, or maybe has to revert the license message, the old one, I'm going to push it.
Sounds good. Thank you. I don't know if anybody has comments about the micro:jet yet. Usually we just announce when the next meeting is, which is on the 6th, I believe.
Yes, 2 days from now.
Okay. Our repo moves seem to go pretty smoothly for most people. There was a typo made on the Eclipse side, and all the committers lost access overnight, but that was fixed the next morning. And then we had a few committers with problems, but those are all resolved now, and they all have access. So as far as I know, all the repos are moved, everything's working, all the committers have access, and everything's good. Everyone should still update their links, even though the old links get redirected to the new places. It's better to use the new links. I don't know how long the redirection will be in place for, but maybe not forever. Anybody have any concerns, questions about moving repos?
I was going to update the Bugzilla just as a lesson learned. The API doesn't do redirects, so there was a script I had that used the API, so those started failing. And then the Jenkins jobs that do PR builds, those needed to be updated as well, because those basically filter on the repo name or the Oregon repo name, so those needed to be updated. So just as an FYI to Eclipse. I'll update that ticket.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any other business?
I was going to mention the Artifactory got locked down, but everyone on the call seems to be from IBM, so we should have all seen my email go out. So if there's any problems, let me know.
Okay. If nobody has anything else, I think we're done. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.